Hey, what's up guys? Super Milesio here. We're gonna have some fun today. At least I hope so. It is a dark and stormy Friday afternoon, so what better time to stay inside and play some music for a while. I've done this once before. It was a James Taylor concert that I did, I think, about 3.5 years ago at this point. That's insane. It was probably mid 2020, I think. And man, looking back, I think I could do a lot better. I mean, I tried to rewatch that video a little bit ago, a couple days ago, and I couldn't even get through it all, honestly. You might go watch it and say, oh, it's not horrible, but just knowing, how much better I could do now, I think, on the guitar and my vocals as well, just it made it really difficult to listen to. But hopefully we're going to remedy that today. And if not, with all the buildup I've been doing, well then I've just dug myself into an even deeper hole, which is always fun. So at least you'll be here for the ride. Before we get started, we are going to get started very soon. I just want to let you know that I am going to be leaving timestamps in the description, and I'll probably leave a comment as well with all of the songs that we're going to be playing, so you can skip if you like. If you want to listen to a particular song, or if you just want to skip my yapping, then you can do so at your leisure. Or if you just want to kick back and listen to the whole thing through, I would greatly appreciate that. But that is up to you, and I will not know one way or the other. Isn't that how it works? So, with that being said, I'm going to do just a minute of sort of exposition before we get started about this guy. Check this out. So, this is another thing that sort of inspired me to redo this, is this slick puppy. I've been playing on my Taylor Dreadnought. It's a 110E Dreadnought guitar for a couple of years. I got it when I was, I think, 14, 15. Actually, might have been my 15th birthday present. That sounds about right. From my dear old dad. I bet you're watching. I've been playing on that thing for years, and I love it. I mean, it's a great guitar. But recently, I went down the rabbit hole of trying to find a guitar that could sound closer to how James Taylor's guitar sounded in the 70s particularly. He had, in the 70s, I think he went through at least 3 or 4 different guitars that you hear on his recordings, but the main one that I was after was the Gibson J50 that he had for his first couple albums. And that thing, I mean, it's got a very distinct sound to it. And so I knew I wanted a Gibson. This is a J45, which is pretty close to the J50, but even within this model, there's so many different... I went to Guitar Center to get this, not a sponsor, and I played about 5 or 6 J45s, and this was the only one that I immediately knew when I played it. I was like, this has got to be the one. It's about 3 times the cost as my Taylor, which doesn't really matter. I had a budget. I went slightly over it, but that's okay, because I mean, this thing, I couldn't pass it up. I mean, I'll talk a little bit more as we go. I do want to get into this, but I'm loving this thing so far, and I'm planning to use it for most of my James Taylor stuff moving forward. We're going to get into our first song, and last time I played 10. I think I've got 11 here now, so hopefully I can get through all 11. And I did like an intermission in the middle of the last one. I don't think I'm going to do that this time. I think I'm just going to have maybe slightly more of a gap in between each song, maybe like two minutes or so I can talk about the next song, just take a breather, that sort of thing. And I'm going to be recording this also through this microphone. That's why it's here. You're hearing this right now through my phone audio, because that's how I'm recording this. But during the songs, I'm going to switch over to this audio, or maybe I'll do a mixture of the two, so you can get a higher quality sound, which I didn't do last time. So hopefully that's gonna also help us out quite a bit. Just make sure that we're working here. Just check real quick. Check. All right, I think we're good. I'm excited about this. So I'm going to be sitting kind of right here, so hopefully you can see both of my hands and what I'm doing, but also I kind of want to be close to the mic. So here we go. First song is going to be, I wanted to start with a banger. This is probably in my top 3 songs ever, James Taylor or not. And this is Something in the Way She Moves. think it's about time to get started. What do you think? Here we go.
Well, there's something in the way she moves, or looks my way, or calls my name, and it seems to leave this troubled world behind. And if I'm feeling down and blue, or troubled by some foolish game, well, she always seems to make me change my mind. I feel fine anytime she's around me now. She's around me now, almost all the time. And if I'm well, you can tell she's been with me now. She's been with me now quite a long, long time, and I feel fine. Every now and then the things I lean on, they lose their meaning, and I find myself careening in places where I should not let me go. And she has the power to go when no one else can find me. Yes, and it silently remind me of the happiness and good times that I know we know. Well, I said I just got to know them. It isn't what she's got to say, or how she thinks, or where she's been. But to me the words are nice, the way they sound. I like to hear them best that way. It doesn't much matter what they mean. Well, she says them mostly just to calm me down. And I feel fine anytime she's around me now. She's around me now, almost all the time. And if I'm well, you can tell she's been with me now. She's been with me now quite a long, long time. Yes, and I feel fine.
And there we go. That's that song for you. And again, one of my favorites of all time. And you might notice I'm playing it capo 2nd fret, which is in the key of B. And on the album version, the Greatest Hits album, which is the version most people know, it's in C, which is a half step up. But in most of the live performances that I found in the 1970s, he does it in B. And I think B is great when you're doing a live performance of it, just voice and guitar without even the background vocals. I do think the way that he does it with the bass and also like the actual bass guitar with it and the vocal harmonies, I think C is a really great place for it. But when you're doing it live, I'm almost always gonna go for the B. But moving right along, there's still a couple quirks with this guitar I'm trying to iron out. I don't know if it's the capo or something like that, but moving the capo around changes the tuning slightly, and so I have to just make sure that we're still good. Next one is going to be open, capo 0 fret. This is one of the first James Taylor song I ever heard, and for a while it was the only one I ever knew because my dad would just sing it to me as a lullaby, for reals. That's actually true. And this is Sweet Baby James. And for a while that was the only thing I knew until I learned, oh, this guy has like a lot of music. But yeah, Sweet Baby James for you. Here we go.
There is a young cowboy and he lives on the range. His horse and his cattle are his only companions. Yeah, he works in the saddle and he sleeps in the canyons, just awaiting for summer his pastures to change. And as the moon rises, he sits by his fire, just a thinking about women and glasses of beer, closing his eyes as the doggies retire, sings out a song which is soft but it's clear, just as if maybe someone could hear. So good night, you moonlight ladies, rock-a-bye my sweet baby Jane. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams? Yes, and rock-a-bye my sweet baby Jane. Now the 1st of December was covered with snow, and so was the turnpike from Stockbridge to Boston, though the Berkshires seemed dreamlike on account of that frosting, with 10 miles behind me and 10,000 more to go, you know. Well, there's a song that they sing when they take to the highway, a song that they sing when they take to the street, a song that they sing of their home in the sky. Maybe you can believe it if it helps you to sleep, but singing seems to work just fine for me. Well, good night, you moonlight ladies, rock-a-bye my sweet baby Jane. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams? Yes, and rock-a-bye sweet baby James.
Yeah. What the heck? I said 1st of September. How does that make sense? Maybe where you're from, it's snowing in September. It's funny that that's the song that I knew first and have heard the most, and I still can't get the lyrics right. I also think it's when they take to the sea, not street. Yeah, because it would rhyme with singing seems to work just fine for me. What are you gonna do? That's that song. Really nice. Really like it. It's nice and relaxing. It was on his, not his first album, because his first album was James Taylor. It was called James Taylor by Apple Records. But most people don't even know about that one. So I think Sweet Baby James is kind of his real first album that people actually talk about. And of course it was called Sweet Baby James. So there you go. Yeah, moving on again. We're going up to the 3rd fret, y'all. Just make sure that... Yeah, another thing I wanted to mention. In that song, James Taylor, I think, always plays his D chords like this, with his index finger on the high E string, rather than like this, which is kind of what I always do with my middle fingers on. But I actually play it like he does, just for certain cases where I have to do that. Just because it's so much easier to get that good hammer on with your index finger. You can do it with both, but it does make a lot more sense why he does that. Anyways, we're moving on to Sunny Skies. This is another one that I think was on Sweet Baby James, and it's a really nice one. Very simple, really 2 chords for the entire thing. And this was the first song that I ever heard a major 7th chord, or not heard, but actually made a conscious note of it. My dad was teaching me this song, and he taught me what a major 7th chord was, and never looked back from there.
Yeah, there we go. Sunny sky sleeps in the morning. He doesn't know when to rise. He closes his weary eyes upon the day. Look at him yawning, throwing his morning hours away. He knows how to ease down slowly, and everything is fine in the end. You would be pleased to know that Sunny Skies hasn't a friend. Sunny Skies weeps in the it doesn't much matter why. I guess he just has to cry from time to time. Everyone's leaving, and Sunny Skies has to stay behind. Still he knows how to ease down slow, no, and everything is fine in the end. And you would be pleased to know that Sunny Skies hasn't a friend. The Sunny Skies sleeps in the morning. He doesn't know when to rise, and closes his weary eyes upon the day, and throws it all away. Looking at the snow and trees that grow outside my window, looking at the things that pass me by, wondering if where I've been is worth the things I've been through. Ending with a friend named Sunny Skies.
Well, there you go. So it looks like somebody's leaving my house right now. Yeah, that one, again, it's only 2 chords, but as you can see, like, that can actually kind of make it a little trickier, because I don't think my index finger, like, well, my index finger's always right here the entire song, so it gets tired, and with only 2 chords, you can kind of lose track of where you are. But it's a fun song. It's pretty nice. Doesn't overstay its welcome or anything. And I think that might be just him and his guitar on the album, that track. I'll have to listen back, but pretty sure. Take a little water. This is a 2-liter bottle right here. I try and get through one of these a day, like a full 2 liters. I haven't been as successful with that lately, but it's the thought that counts, right? That's what I always say. So, here we go. Moving to the next song, we're back in open position. Most of his songs are not, actually. Most of them, there's a capo somewhere, but this is one of the few that is open. Again, just making sure I've got my tuning right. I think we're good. This is one of my all-time favorite tunes, and sadly, it's not as well known. I can't find like any live recordings of it online. This is on Gorilla, which, boy, I mean, it's tough to pick a favorite album of his, because there's just so many great songs on all of them, and I feel like all of my favorite songs of his are kind of scattered amongst different albums. But Gorilla's one of those, man, that like listening to it all the way through is just like banger after banger after banger. And it's so obscure. Like, so many of those great songs on there are like, nobody talks about them, nobody knows them really, which is kind of sad. Sarah Maria, which is what we're gonna play, that's one of my favorites on there. It's the last track, which also could be why it's not as well known. Mexico is really well known. How Sweet It Is, that one's pretty good, and that's really well known. There's a song called Music. That's the second song on that album. The song is called Music. And that one's really good. I don't hear anyone talking about that. Fool to Care, of course, is really good. Lighthouse is amazing. Listen to Gorilla all the way through if you haven't. And of course, Gorilla, it's a goofy song, but it's also really good. That album and One Man Dog, and the JT album, and Mudslide Slim. I mean, there's a lot of albums where just not a single bad song on there. I could listen to it all the way through. But that's enough talking, I think. We're going to move right along to Sarah Maria. And after I finish, I'll tell you about a couple parts of this song that I realized I was playing wrong up until recently, and I recently remedied it, which is pretty good. But here we go. Let's hope I can get this right. Here we go.
While the moon is in the ocean and the stars are in the skies, and all that I can see is my sweet Maria's eyes. Sarah, Sarah Maria, Sarah Maria, ya, 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 ya. Well, you know about the sugar cane, it comes from way down south. She's got one end in her hand, she's got one end in her mouth. Come on, Sarah, Sarah Maria, Sarah Maria, ya, 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 ya. Well, she took me out walking to the corner of the world, and everyone was a-talking about such a pretty little girl. Come on, Sarah, Sarah Maria, Sarah Maria, ya, 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 ya. Well, the moon is in the ocean, and the stars are in disguise, and all that I can see is my sweet Maria's eyes. Sarah, Sarah Maria, Sarah Maria, ya, 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 ya. Sarah, Sarah Maria, Sarah Maria, ya, 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 ya.
Really fun one. It's got some tricky bits in there that I can't always nail, but I did want to briefly talk about the little sections that I was not doing right. I mean, I learned this song years ago. It wasn't great, but I was playing it like this, or like something like that, where I was plucking that E, you know, and that works. But you listen on the album, and it's really, it's all connected, and it just glides right into it. And I was like, how is he doing that? And I feel like such an idiot that it took me this long to realize, but he's not, I can't even do it. He's not plucking it, he's pulling off with this finger. And then you kind of have to jump back here so you can play that, but it's so much better that way. And then the other part, I was playing it like this, but it's really, it's a very subtle difference, but instead of, it's, so you add that fifth in there. And that small difference, I don't know how I didn't hear that for years, but that small difference, I mean, this is cool, you know, this is fine, but that's so much better. Yeah. Anyways, moving on from that, it's a really good song. Going back up to Capo's second fret, this is a short song, but still a really good one. This is Soldiers, another one that nobody really talks about. It is a rather obscure one, but we're gonna do that. So let's do it. I don't have much to say about it other than that. It's just a really good song. So here we go.
It was just after sunrise and down by the sea, down on the sand flats where nothing will grow, come drumming and footsteps like out of a dream, where the golden green waters come in. Just 9 lucky soldiers that come through the night, half of them wounded and barely alive, Just 9 out of 20 was headed for home, with 11 sad stories to tell. I remember quite clearly when I got out of bed, I said, "Oh, good morning, what a beautiful day." Stupid chair creaking. Ruined my moment. There you go. That's the ending I wanted. Again, that's it. That's the entire song. It's really nice. I missed that one riff. I didn't do it quite well. It's a... I really like that. But yeah, that's Soldiers. Just two verses and kind of a sort of a bridge at the end. Really nice. Again, I can only find one live recording of that online. It's pretty sad. It's from I think it was from 1971 BBC concert. Those are just absolute gems. If you haven't seen those, it was basically, there's one from 1970, one from 71. It's like a playlist. You can find it if you just search up James Taylor BBC. There's like a dozen from each year. He did 2 concerts. He might have done more than that, but those are the main ones. And for a video from the 1970s, a live performance, the quality is incredible. The video, which is great, it's great to see, but the audio especially, it was. I mean, I don't know if they've done some work on it to like to remaster the audio or to sort of fix it, but it sounds incredible. And that's sort of what I'm trying to emulate, is like the sound from just those raw performances where it's just him, maybe a couple of people, other people playing with him. Like that is quintessential James Taylor to me. So check that out if you haven't. And it's crazy to say that, to think that was 50 something years ago at this point. I mean, it is wild. But I mean, it's timeless stuff. I mean, it's yeah, it is what it is. Staying on the 2nd fret, capo, 2nd fret. This is another favorite of mine. This is Wanderin', and I don't know if I have much to say about this. You know what? I think now is about time. I have this tab pulled up next to Logic, and that's because I meant to mention this, but some of these songs, again, sometimes I struggle with lyrics a little bit. I know all the lyrics of this song, it's just sometimes I forget the order of the verses. It's like, is he an engineer before his ma died, or Snakes in the Ocean, Redheaded Woman, when is that? I don't know. All of these verses, one after the other, and because that's all this song is, just verse after verse after verse. There's no chorus really. So I pulled up the lyrics, and I'm going to glance at it just if I need to remember the order. But here we go. Here's Wanderin'. Let me start that over. I've been wandering early and late, from New York City to the Golden Gate, and it don't look like I'll never stop my wandering. My daddy was an engineer, my brother drives a hack, my sister takes in laundry while the baby balls the jack, and it don't look like I'll ever stop my wandering. I've been in the army and I worked on a farm, and all I've got to show is the muscle in my arm, and it don't look like I'll ever stop my wandering. My mom, she died when I was young. My daddy took to stealing and he got hung. And it don't look like I'll ever stop my wandering. Snakes in the ocean and eels in the sea. I let a red-headed woman make a fool out of me. And it don't look like I'll never stop my wandering. Well, I've been wandering early and late, from the New York City to the Golden Gate, and it don't look like I'll ever stop my wandering. No, it don't look like I'll ever stop my wandering.
Yeah, not too bad. There's a couple tricky chords in there, and there's a couple that I need to relearn because I recently listened to it, and again, I don't know what was going on with my ear back then. I think I just kind of phoned it in for some of them. I was like, it's close enough. But I listened to it, and he's playing a slightly different chords than what I was playing, but I think this is right. This, it's tricky. That progression there, he uses that a lot. And then what I play here is like something like that. New York City to the Golden Gate. But he's playing different notes there. I'll figure it out. And then I love that. Anyways, that's Wandering. It's a really nice one. We're in the home stretch, folks. I did skip one song, and you're not gonna know what song that is, but I think I'm gonna do this again at some point, and I'm leaving some songs for that, so you'll probably end up hearing that song in the next concert. So I think there will be 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. I don't know. I think I might have miscounted. Oh well, we'll figure it out. Next song, what do you know? We are staying on the 2nd fret. How about that? And this is a song from New Moonshine, which is an album that I just listened to all the way through. I've had it for years. I had the disc, but I listened to it on Spotify. I recently got suckered into, finally, after years of resisting, of getting a premium, Spotify premium subscription. And the reason for that is actually even more embarrassing. Since I have now 2 albums and some change, some singles on Spotify, I was annoyed that I had to listen to ads before I listened to my own music on Spotify, just to make sure that everything was in order. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but I just wanted to listen through my album and my music to make sure that everything was good on Spotify. And I couldn't just play a song that I wanted. I had to listen to the ads and do the whole whatever. And so I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna get a subscription. And, come to think of it, it is gonna be very convenient now that I'm listening to a lot of James Taylor, and just, I can have a more curated list. All that to say, there's a couple albums that I know some songs from, but I haven't listened to all the way through. Like That's Why I'm Here, New Moonshine, In the Pocket. There's a couple more that I need to just go all the way through. Even Hourglass, there's a couple I haven't hit. New Moonshine's got some real bangers on there. And I gotta say, I wasn't able to really get it down in time enough. 2 days ago, I heard Frozen Man for the first time. And I've been working on that real quickly. I'll just show you. It's this one chord that's the killer. See, like I can't, sometimes it takes me a second to get there. It's just such a stretch. And I end up muting 1 or 2 strings almost always. Come on. Especially since it's open and so the frets are, I might actually end up even tuning my guitar down and putting a capo on it, just so that I can use like the smaller frets for this song. There we go. That's the opening. It's up. And then, oh, it's such a good. So I'm learning that, and I'm almost there. I mean, I can play through it, it's just not great, so I was like, I can't squeeze that into this concert. But like I said, the next one, you'll probably be hearing that. Back to the 2nd fret. This is probably the most well-known song on New Moonshine. One of James Taylor's most well-known songs. It's Copperline. We're gonna do Copperline, and I need the lyrics for this one too. Again, just because there's so many verses and I just forget the order. So, all right, I got the lyrics pulled up, so let's hope this goes well.
Even the old folks, they never knew why they call it like they do. I was wondering since the age of 2, down on Copperline. Copper head, copper beach, copper kettle sitting side by each. Copper coil, copper Georgia beach, down on Copperline. Half a mile down to Morgan Creek, leaning heavy on the end of the week. Hercules and a hog-nosed snake down on Copperline. We were down on Copperline. Warm summer night on the Copperline, slip away past supper time. Wood smoke and moonshine down on the Copperline. One time I saw my daddy dance, watched him moving like a man in a trance. Brought it back from the war in France, down on Copperline. Branch water and tomato wine, creosote and turpentine, sour mash and new moonshine, down on Copperline, yeah. Take me down on Copperline. Oh, first kiss ever I took, like a page from a romance book. Sky open and the earth shook, down on Copperline. Walk me there. Took a fall from a windy height, I only knew how to hold on tight. Pray for love enough to last all night, down on Copperline. Oh. Day breaks and the boy wakes up and the dog barks and the bird sings and the sap rises and the angel sighs. Yeah. Tried to go back as if I could, all spec house and plywood. You tore up good, down on the Copperline, yeah. Doesn't come as a surprise to me, never touched my memory. Well, I'm lifting up, rising free, down on the Copperline. Half a mile down to Morgan Creek, only live till the end of the week. Hercules and a hog-nosed snake, down on the Copperline. We were down on Copperline. Oh, down on the Copperline. Take me down on the Copperline.
This stupid chair, man. I'm telling you. I need some like WD-40 up in here or something. Anyways. I think I need to work on that one a little bit more. I just wanted to throw it in there because I've been really liking New Moonshine and I wanted to put a song from there. And so that's Copperline for you. It's pretty repetitive, which can sometimes be your detriment, honestly, because it's really easy to miss it, you know. But that's a really nice progression, or something like. Yeah. All right, we're moving up one fret. It's our second to last song, our penultimate tune, if you will. And this is another really good one. I've known it for a while, but I just recently learned it, and it has a really nice intro in the beginning. And this was on Hourglass. Late 90s was when that released. One of probably the latest of his albums that I've actually listened to. It's a really good song. There's a lot of great ones on Hourglass as well. Line 'Em Up is one, which I also tried to learn. It's pretty tricky, and that might be on the next one as well if I can get it down. But there's a lot of moving parts to that one, and this one as well. But I think I was able to get it down a little bit better, hopefully. And I will need lyrics for this one too. What do you know? Let's see here.
All right, here we go. So the sun shines on this funeral, just the same as on a birth. The way it shines on everything that happens here on earth. It rolls across the western skies, back into the sea. Now it spends the day's last rays upon this fucked up family. So long, old pal. Last time I saw Alice, she was leaving Santa Fe with a bunch of round-eyed Buddhists in a killer Chevrolet. Said they turned around to Texas. Yeah, she burned them down back home. Now she's wild with expectation on the edge of the unknown, singing, oh, it's enough to be on your way. It's enough just to cover ground. It's enough to be moving on. Oh, you build it behind your eyes, bury it in your heart, safe among your own. They brought her back on a Friday night, same day I was born. They sent her up the smokestack, yes, and back into the storm. She blew up over the San Juan Mountains. She spent herself at last. The threat of heavy weather, yes, that was what she knew the best. Singing, oh, it's enough to be on your way. It's enough just to cover ground. It's enough to be moving on. Whoa, you better build it behind your eyes, carry it in your heart, safe among your own. Woke me up on a Sunday, and hour before the sun had me watching the headlights on Highway 591 till I stepped into my trousers, till I put my big boots on. I walked out on the mesa and I stumbled on this song. Oh, it's enough to be on your way. It's enough just to cover ground. It's enough to be moving on. Whoa, boy, build it behind your eye. Carry it in your heart, safe among your own. So long, old gal.
Yeah, that's a good one. There is that weird bit in there. I don't know if that's what he's doing, like changing the capo mid-song, but it seems to work fine, and it's kind of the easiest option for me. Yeah, that intro is really good. Took me, a couple days to really nail that, and it still takes probably a couple tries for me to get it just right. But yeah. Real quick, we're going to move into our last song. But before we do that, I just want to leave a little surprise for those of you that are using the timestamps. Again, it's all up to you. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other. But if you've watched through this whole thing, then you're going to be safe from what's about to happen. But if you're using the timestamps, I'm about to jump scare you. When they click to this time, it'll be me jump scaring them. And you're going to be ready for it, because you're watching the whole video, but they won't, and that's what they get for skipping my dialogue. You ready? You ready for this? 3, 2, 1. Rah! That was me jump scaring you. For those of you using the timestamps, you probably just did one of those. But again, if you're watching this whole thing, you're safe from that. We're moving on to our last song of the day. Another one probably in my top 3 songs ever, not in any particular order. It's tough, because different songs at different times, when I'm in different moods, I would say I have different favorites. But this is one of those that just kind of never gets old. So yeah, we're moving on to that, and that is Close Your Eyes. There's another one that he's played in several keys. You hear him play it a lot of the live recordings. He's playing it on the 2nd fret again, but I really like it in E flat. I think it's right at home in E flat. It's nice and warm, and that's what we're gonna do. Here we go.
The sun is sure sinking down, but the moon is slowly rising. So this whole world must still be spinning round, and I still love you. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes, it's alright. I don't know no love songs, and I can't sing the blues anymore, but I can sing this song, and you can sing this song when I'm gone. Be long before another day. Yeah, we gonna have a good time, and nobody's gonna take that time away. You can stay as long as you like. So close your eyes. You can close your eyes, it's alright. I don't know no love songs, and I can't sing the blues anymore. But I can sing this song, and you can sing this song when I'm gone.
And there you have it. Those are my songs for the day. And guys, like I said, this is probably one of many, maybe one of several. I'm not sure the timeline on that. I'm about to be very busy again. My school semester starts very soon, and so I'll have to take a pause on some things. But thank you for watching this. And I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly had some fun. It's getting very hot in here. I had to turn off all my fans, probably because of my fireplace. That's probably what's doing it. But I'm really toasty, so I'm going to turn my fans back on, maybe open a window, and get on with my day. And I encourage you to do the same. And I'm really excited to be playing with this new guitar for the foreseeable future. And if you haven't already, I don't know if you know this. Like I said, I just released a new album called Shoes to Fill. It's on Spotify, Apple Music. It's on YouTube as well, just the YouTube videos and YouTube Music. So check that out if you want. Let me know what you think. I'm really, you know, those songs mean a lot to me, and I certainly don't plan to stop creating music anytime soon. I don't have any immediate plans for a new album. I think I've just about used up all the songs I had in my bank, but I will be slowly working on some new ones in the coming months, and who knows what's gonna happen. I just hope you'll be along for the ride, and that's about all I got for you. So once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Peace out.